You might be wondering what really shapes how Indians vote and which parts of this topic UPSC will test you on, especially when social identities and development both seem to matter. By the end of this video, you will be completely clear about the main drivers of voting behavior, the recent reforms that matter for answers, and a small but powerful idea most aspirants miss. We will keep this simple and visual, focusing on the beginner essentials you can use directly in answers and essays. Start with a simple picture. Voting is like choosing a captain for a big school team, where family, friends, issues, and promises all push you one way or another. Voting behavior is not one single thing. It is a mix of social identity, local factors, candidate image, and national issues working together. First, social identities such as caste, religion, and class create stable voting blocks in many places, acting like a social compass. Second, party identification and loyalty act like habit. Many voters keep choosing the same party until a strong reason appears to change that habit. Third, candidate level factors. A local leader's reputation, criminal record, or service delivery often tip the balance in closely fought seats. Fourth, issues and performance such as development, law and order, or welfare schemes can move votes when they become salient during elections. Now let us layer in some facts you should remember for UPSC. In 2014, India's turnout rose to 66.44% from 58.21% in 2009, showing rising engagement. Also in 2014, women lagged behind men by only about 1.4%. And several states reported women turnout higher than men, which is important for gender-sensitive questions. You should note the surge in youth turnout in 2014. Youth behavior can change electoral outcomes and is a key angle in contemporary answer writing. The Election Commission marks these changes as part of evolving voting behavior, and it even celebrates National Voters' Day every January 25th with themes like No Voter to be Left Behind. So why does this matter for your UPSC answers? This concept is very important for your exams because questions on electoral behavior, voter turnout, and reforms are often asked in GS Paper 1 and in GS Paper 2 under governance and electoral reforms. When you write, combine evidence like turnout statistics and reforms with theory such as identity politics or retrospective voting to build a strong answer. The Election Commission has also moved from intuition to science, researching voter behavior, which means answers should reflect both sociology and institutional responses. Let us look at key reforms you should mention in answers and interviews. First, NOTA, none of the above, gives a formal route for protest votes, showing that voters can express rejection, not just choose between candidates. Second, VVPAT machines were introduced to increase transparency and build confidence in electronic voting when questions about EVMs appeared. Third, model polling booths and accessibility measures aim to include women, elderly, and children, pushing the system toward the theme of no voter being left behind. Fourth, SWEEP, the Systematic Voters Education and Electoral Participation Program, uses targeted education campaigns to convert eligible citizens into actual voters. Fifth, the ECI's scientific approach and data collection help tailor interventions, which is a good point to include when you propose policy solutions in mains answers. The Commission and the courts have also pushed disclosure of criminal records to decriminalize elections, an important institutional reform worth citing. Use simple analogies in answers. For instance, think of the ECI as a referee improving stadium safety and fairness so the game of democracy is better played. Now for the key idea most UPSC aspirants miss. Voting behavior changes when institutions nudge incentives and when voter education alters expectations, not only when parties change tactics. In other words, reforms and administrative innovations can reshape long-standing social patterns over time. So always link social causes to institutional effects in your answers. For example, improving polling accessibility and running targeted campaigns can raise turnout among women and youth, which then changes party strategies. This institutional angle makes your analysis richer and gives you a clear policy recommendation section for mains answers. Moving to the way forward, the key demands are decriminalization of politics through stricter norms and disclosure, exploring alternative systems like proportional representation, and improving coalitions management. Political parties, the ECI, media, and civil society must coordinate to strengthen electoral integrity and voter information, a point you can argue in higher scoring answers. Practical reforms could include faster disposal of criminal cases against candidates, public funding of campaigns, and stronger rules for internal party democracy. In tackling a UPSC question, structure your answer. Definition, recent facts and stats, institutional reforms, reasons for voting patterns, and clear policy recommendations. Remember to use contemporary evidence, National Voters' Day themes, turnout numbers from 2009 and 2014, Nota, VVPAT, and Sweep are concrete hooks that examiners like. Quick recap. Voting behavior mixes identity, issue-based judgment, candidate image, and institutional nudges. Recent reforms aim to broaden participation and build trust. The small but powerful insight, institutions and education can change voting patterns over time, will help your answers move from descriptive to analytical. You now have the essentials: clear drivers, recent reforms, hard facts, and a policy-focused way to craft mains answers. If you want to deepen this, try framing a short answer on how sweep changed turnout in a district, or an essay paragraph comparing first past the post with proportional representation for India. Keep practicing linking data with institutional explanations, and you will spot angles that most aspirants miss in their answers and interviews. Want more examples, model answers, and a quick quiz on voting behavior tailored for UPSC? Come join the detailed lessons on EduRev, where each concept is broken down with evidence and answer writing tips. Remember, voting is both a social act and an institutional outcome, and understanding that dual nature is the path to better answers and better democracy. Good luck, and keep exploring these links between society, institutions, and reform. They make for strong, high-scoring UPSC responses.